Greetings viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we've got another little tool haul, another Japanese tool haul from Koken USA. Picked up a couple things just the other day and we're going to go over it, see what I got, and check out these Japanese tools. So let's get into it. So here we have the order in from Koken Tools USA. What we've got is a set of 1/4 inch drive nut grip socket shallow, a set of 3/8 inch drive nut grip shallow sockets, a couple of universal nut grip sockets, and a Koken round head ratchet. Let's start off looking at the round head ratchet. This is a Koken 3776J. It is a 280 millimeter in length ratchet. It has the comfort grip or soft grip handle on it. It has a 45 tooth mechanism. Extremely low back drag, which Koken is well known for, and has the swivel for the round head. Round head ratchets have kind of fallen out of favor in the last couple of decades in favor for pair head ratchets, but there is still a place for the round head ratchet, especially because there are certain angles and certain places that they can get into that a regular flex head pair head ratchet cannot get into. So some features about the Koken round head that make it a little bit different than everybody else's. First, the selector switch is a little bit different. You got your little arrow here pointing to the R or the L for your reverser switch. Nice positive click. Also has a speeder thumb wheel built into the back of the ratchet. Pretty neat little feature there. We don't really have to add one to the front. Mainly because it's kind of difficult to actuate it from the front. So nice that Koken put that on the rear. Again, you know, like the rotating round heads, you can get them in all kinds of different angles. You can use it as a speeder when you put it out to the front. You can bend back upon itself and get those steep angles for hard to reach, tight access areas. Have an older snap-on round head swivel like this. It's right here. Used it for many years. One of my favorite 3/8 inch ratchets. It is an FHN F100. It's a 100 tooth round head, and I can't remember the application now. I believe it was a BMW. I think it was maybe something on the back of the cylinder head. I couldn't get at with any other ratchet than this. My other flex heads were hitting the firewall, but this one had just enough clearance with the socket on it to get it. So there are applications where these will work, where others will not. Another neat feature on these, they have a set screw where you can tighten or loosen it to adjust the amount of drag or resistance on the head swiveling back and forth. Overall, pretty well built, like every other thing they make. You know, Japanese quality, you don't have to worry about it. I know a lot of people are thinking, well, 45 teeth compared to 100 tooth in the snap-on, why would you not just keep the snap-on? Why go to the Koken? And it's the back drag. This thing has so light of a back drag on it. It's hard to explain. It's one of those things you just have to feel to appreciate. The snap-on having its 100 tooth mechanism, the back drag is far more substantial on it. It takes a lot more effort to get that drive to turn, to get that gear to move and hit the next click. But not with the Koken. It's feather-light kind of effort. Just beautiful ratchet, very smooth mechanism. This ratchet is about 120 bucks right now. I believe the snap-on retails for about 175 bucks. Check it out on kokenusa.com. You can use promo code Mr. Subaru 10 for 10% off of your order there on Koken Tools. I'll put it in the description. I'll put a link there. Also put it on the screen for you guys. But yeah, overall, can't wait to start using this thing and see how I like it after, you know, putting some miles on it. So that is our first item, the Koken 3776J round head 45 tooth ratchet. So up next we've got two sets of sockets, 1/4 and 3/8 inch drive. These are some Koken items we've looked at in the past with their nut grip universal sockets, but we haven't looked at the standard sockets. So shallow sets on both. Part number RS2450MS/6 for the 1/4 inch drive set. That is a 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 millimeter. And then we've got RS3450M/10 and that is 3/8" drive. That is a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, 21, and 22 millimeter. These are non-Zeal items. Those of you familiar with Koken items know about the Z series, the more refined, smaller, more compact, tighter tolerance tools. This is just in Koken's regular line of tools. Both socket sets come on just a standard steel socket rail, which I'm totally fine with. They are very stout and well made. They're not cheap and flimsy like the ones that you can find some places. And they do the job well, and they don't take up any more space than they need to. So we've looked at nut grip technology before, but for those of you that are not familiar with it, or those of you new to the channel, we'll take a look at it. What nut grip is exactly what you would expect from the name. These sockets will grip onto nuts and bolt heads and keep them from falling out of the socket. It's a retention system. There's a spring around the outside edge at the top of each of the sockets, and there are 2 detent balls on either side. When you put a bolt or a nut in there, the spring and the detent balls hold pressure on it and keep it from falling out. If you, say, need to start a nut or a bolt in a recessed area, fighting against gravity, put it in the socket, and you can guide it down with your extension to start it, rather than, not being able to fit your hand in that area to get it, or dropping it in there and then trying to work it with a magnet or a long screwdriver or pick and trying to start it without cross-threading it. So these are really, really handy. A lot of people may be familiar with magnetic sockets or have magnetic sockets, but these are superior to those. One, the magnetic sockets are bad about collecting debris in them. Any of you that have magnetic sockets know a lot of times, even without use, just sitting in a shop environment, they start getting particles on them. If they're near a bench grinder or something, somebody's been grinding metal, cutting metal, cut off disc, and that stuff's floating through the air, those magnets will pick it up and it'll start building up in there, and some of them, it's a hard task to get that cleaned out. Another thing is, you're not always working with ferrous metals. You're not always working with magnetic fasteners. Sometimes you may be working with plastic, you may be working with stainless, you may be working with aluminum, and those magnetic sockets will not help you out with those fasteners, but these work no matter the material of the fastener. So with that said, let me go grab a bolt and some nuts, and we'll show you real quick the holding process. We'll get the macro lens out and get you a closer look. So here's a closer look at the nut grip sockets. We've got the 22 millimeter 3/8" drive, just to give you a better look with the size of it. So as you see, there's a coiled spring of wire here around the top, and then on opposite flats, you've got the detent ball. And what that does is lock in your fastener, nut, bolt, head, what have you, and keeps it from coming out. Just like a magnetic socket, but better, because again, it works on any material and it does not have to be ferrous metal. So it doesn't matter what size fastener, nut, bolt you're working with. This is a 1/4" drive socket with a 14 in it. Lots of shaky, still holds it securely in place. $10mm socket with a 10mm nut. Securely held again. And 8mm. Not going anywhere. Definitely makes it a heck of a lot easier to start nuts on studs when you're fighting against gravity. And as we talked about in one of the first Koken videos, they do have these nut grip sockets in a universal, so you don't have to have just a straight-on socket to get this technology for holding your fasteners. Super handy. Alright guys, and that'll do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.